Thank you for coming. This is fun. I haven't done one of these in 2 years, so it's nice to be able to have parents in the theater and being able to show you kind of what some of the things are that are new, give you the results from the parent survey, have you get to hear from our foundation, and some other things. So this is just reviewing our vision, empower students to create a better world. Our mission, we challenge minds, nurture character, and respect individuality in a supportive community. Our values, we want kids, we value being respectful, responsible, open-minded, and empathetic. You'll probably see some of your kids in here too. Our expectations, we want all students to leave DMP demonstrating integrity, compassion, accountability, and a growth mindset, as well as academic skills. But a lot of these are even more important. Every year our staff, all the staff is CPR and first aid certified. So that was from this year. And we do have an AED defibrillator on campus that fortunately we've never had to use and hopefully never will, but we have it in case. So our parent survey, this is an annual survey we've done for, I believe it's like 8 or 9 years now. And I try to keep the questions consistent so that I can kind of gauge from year to year if there's any improvements or anything that we need to work on. I always like having, or I always ask for 100 parents to participate. I usually get around high 70s to low 80s. But last year I actually got 93, so we're getting closer. So hopefully this year I can actually hit 100. When I look at the results, there's, all these questions, it's strongly disagree, strongly disagree, neutral, agree, or strongly agree. And so when I'm giving you the percentages, it's for the people who picked strongly agree or agree to these questions. So Delmar Pines School is living its mission statement, 95%. Delmar Pines School is living its vision statement, 95%. Delmar Pines is living its guiding principle, which is we don't just teach, we help students learn, 92%. And kind of how I see these grades, if I'm in the 90s, I think we're doing great. I consider that an A. 80s are kind of a B, and we don't really want to be too far below. Yes. Delmar Pines School provides an environment where all members are treated with respect, 97%. Delmar Pines School provides an environment that fosters honesty, and personal accountability, 95%. Delmar Pines School facilities are adequate to support students' learning needs, 90. Delmar Pines School provides a safe and orderly learning environment, 96. Delmar Pines School Mathematics program was effective this year, 88, which this is surprising to me because I think a lot of this is because the parents still don't understand the math program, so they don't know what the kids know. But when you see our standardized test scores, our math, I mean all of our test scores are amazing, but our math scores are ridiculously high. So our math program's better than this. We should be in it. Delmar Pines School's Language Arts program was effective this year, 92%. Social Studies was effective, 92%. Science program, 85%. Hands-on science provided engaging lessons to enhance the curriculum, 86%. Spanish program provided exposure to the language and culture and gave students the opportunity to interact with Spanish, 62%. This is something that Ms. Fritz and I are aware of, but I think parents also kind of have unrealistic expectations sometimes, thinking that their kids are going to just come home and start speaking Spanish all the time. That's really not a realistic goal here. So really this is for exposure to the language. They do know a lot more vocabulary than they're going to tell you at home, because speaking is actually the hardest part of a second language. So they can probably read and write better than they can speak it. So just something to consider. Technology program provides exposure to relevant technology tools, enhance student learning. It gives students the opportunity to create and collaborate using technology, 92%. Our kids, I think, are doing a great job with technology, and I like our approach. I think it's very balanced. They're not on technology all the time. They're not never on it. They're on it when it's going to be enhancing what they're doing in the classroom, and to teach them tools that they're going to be using in middle school, high school, and beyond. Our music program was effective this year through exposure to various aspects of music education, as well as performing, singing, playing, movement, and listening. 86%. So Mr. Spurgis was new last year. I think he did an amazing job, but this year is even going to be more spectacular than last year. We've got big plans. Art program was effective, 96%. PE, 91%. All the kids love PE. Classroom teachers provided a reasonable and appropriate amount of homework. This is always an interesting question because the comments, it's kind of almost about half saying there's too much homework and half saying there's not enough homework. So I figure we're kind of in the middle and doing well. We really believe staying in that 10 to 15 minutes a grade level is an appropriate amount, and our philosophy on homework is it's really teaching responsibility, self-discipline, good study habits, time management that are going to carry them through. Ancillary teachers are effective in inspiring your children to do their best academically, socially, and emotionally, 95%. Classroom teachers are effective in inspiring your children to do their best, 93%. DMP's curriculum meets the overall learning needs of your children, 95%. This is something that I really look for, because this is really the main question, like, are we meeting your children's overall learning needs? You can always look at specifics, but if we're doing a really good job meeting the overall needs, I think we're doing a good job. Classroom teachers communicated my child's progress effectively this year, 95%. Teachers' weekly emails and Instagram accounts were effective, 93%. That was really high. Last year we kind of started the weekly emails of the teachers either Sunday or Monday, sending home an email about what they're going to be doing. And I think parents really like that communication. And the Instagram accounts, I think the teachers are doing a really, really good job with that. So I get to track it too, which is really fun to see what the kids are doing. Report cards are an effective form of providing feedback, so 96, which is good. Classroom teachers provided timely and constructive feedback on my children's strengths and challenges. That's a big goal of ours, so you should always know if your children are really exceeding in a certain area or if they're struggling in a certain area and might need some intervention or some other strategies. I think our teachers and our school are more proactive than reactive. So when we see something, we want to inform you as soon as possible. Delmar Pines director responded to parents' needs in a timely and effective manner, 97%. Responded to students' needs in a timely and effective manner, 96%. So I got a good grade. I was really proud of myself. DMP provides sufficient opportunities for parent involvement. And this was incredibly high, considering we were in COVID and parents really weren't on campus. But I think the end of the year, getting to come to some of the plays and Spring Sing and Field Day. So it was really nice to be able to start having parents back last year. And then the last two questions, what do you like best about your Delmar Pines school? And these are pretty consistent answers year after year, looking for themes going on. It's always about the teachers, the small nurturing community, strong academics, how happy my children are, the warm, welcoming, and fun environment. And I just pick and chose ones that I thought were on the same theme. Dedicated staff with quick response for any parent questions, concerns, high quality education, small class size, a great community. The overall environment is truly magical, and we just feel blessed to be a part of the DMP community. That warmed my heart. The teachers in Marcy and Laura, community respect, education curriculum helping students in how to learn, prepare students for private middle schools, and everything we truly love at DMP. So there were a lot of those, which was actually really nice. The last question is suggestions. And the interesting thing about that is they're kind of all over the place. So there's no consistent themes on anything that a big group is saying that we need to be working on. So I think that's pretty good. The DMP Foundation for Education is successful in its mission of supporting and enhancing the educational experience of students, 92%. So our foundation, I'm going to let Joelle Penaranda, who's our foundation president this year, give you a little presentation as well about what the foundation is, what it does, and how it helps every one of your children. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi everyone, my name is Joelle and I have 3 kids. I have a 6th grader, we started in kindergarten, I have a 3rd grader, and I have an incoming kindergarten. So I'm here to say that everything that Marcy has presented is so true. It's like very emotional to me because I've seen them as little kindergartners growing up to be 6th graders, and the humans they're raising here are just so kind. They have this family here that is so special. They're all connected, they're safe, they have this sense of confidence, they learn public speaking from such a young age, so they just are creating really good little human beings. So you guys picked a good school for all the new parents out there. So this is my first, so I was on the foundation for almost a year, and this is my first year being the president, so I'm still kind of learning new how this is going, and I'm still learning. And I have a new board with me as well. I have one member who's been here for many years, but I'd like to introduce Jenny Clarko. She is going to be our gala lead this year. So in the spring we have a spring gala, and she'll be heading that up. You'll see lots of emails and parent volunteer info from her. And then my secretary is Rachna Agarwal, and so she helps us take notes at our meetings and organizes all of our minutes and just helps and volunteers all around. And then Yushin is not here. She is our financial, she does all the finances, so she's collecting all the donations and keeping track of everything. And then Holly Bricken, she is our parent group coordinator. I think some of you are room parents in this room, and she helps organizes all those weekly emails you're receiving. She helps do all the events on campus. So she has a huge job and works with us to make it all run smoothly. And then Debbie Freiberg is not here as well, but she is a member that has been here for a long time, so she's helping us go the right direction and the right path, and she mostly helps with the financials. So that's us. So who are we? The foundation, what are we here for? It's a nonprofit organization. So in 2009, a bunch of parents came together, filled out a bunch of paperwork, and started the organization. It raises funds for the school's educational needs. So our focus is on the students and the teachers and improving the school. So Marcy has truly kept our tuition down, and there's a gap. So there's so many, upgrades that we need, and it's not really included in our tuition every year. So this is the gap that we're covering, and so I'm going to highlight everything that we've done over the years. Your donations are tax deductible. The school leadership and teachers will request grants throughout the year, and so we kind of look at what needs to be done, what needs to be renewed, and then the board decides whether it's going to be granted or not. One big point that has been emphasized to me is it does not implement school policy changes. So we're not a foundation that's going to make changes to the school policies. So I kind of went through everybody here. Marcy is also on our board. She's considered an ex officio, so she doesn't have voting, but she's there and she guides us, so she has her input in everything that we do. So, and then there's all of our names there listed. And then our classroom ambassadors, so most of the board covers every grade except for 2. Vanessa London, she's not here today, but she's going to help us with 1st grade. And then Vian Nguyen is right here, she's 5th grade. And then the rest of the board is all here to help answer any questions in your classroom. So you may be getting some emails from them, and if you have any questions, you can go to those for your grade. So who donates to the foundation? So it's mostly us, the current families. Extended family members have given, board members, alumni. We also are doing corporate matchers, so we also have a lot from Qualcomm come in, and all the big companies are very generous at matching, and even Delmar Pines teachers donate. So what are we looking to raise funds for 2022? So music enhancements, as you can see in this room, the Truces were a big purchase in the last year. If you've come to our spring sing, you'll notice that it really was a huge production. We had new microphones, we had new lighting, we had so many new instruments, guitars, drums, new platforms, new costumes. So we are really looking to keep improving the music program. Technology, every year the foundation supports new iPads, new printers, new laser projectors, screens, printers. Everything is very kept up to date from the foundation. We also want to bring back guest speakers. So in the past, before COVID, we've had guest speakers come and speak to all the parents. So that is something we want to bring back, and the foundation oftentimes will help support that. Continuing education for the teachers, the PE program, the art program, and the science program. So we just wanted to show in some photos of some things you'll notice around campus that the foundation has provided. This photo here is the shade the foundation purchased. And during COVID, the past 2 years, we have been pretty much in person since September 2020 because of the foundation and what they have provided. So hand sanitizer systems everywhere, the UV air purification systems, COVID tests, everything. Apps that we've used to, say if you're having any symptoms. So we really were able to keep our kids in school, and it was such a great effort from all the supplies that the foundation provided. And these are just some more photos of the guitars that we purchased, pianos, a new drum set, and this truce right here you can see overhead for the music program. Technology, we have some new laser printers, a laser projector, it's kind of blurry. That's a 3D printer, iPads, laptops. This is part of the new edition of the art and science, so the art tables were all funded from the foundation. We have a kiln there, so you'll notice in art, your kids will be bringing home some really cool pottery. They do that here on campus. Some science tables, microscopes. And then we also have, I don't know if you've seen the 6th grade room, but that was an addition that the foundation funded. It's upstairs high. We did some playground resurfacing on the playground, keeping it up to date, and we also had a library addition that the foundation funded. So how much do families donate? So we really only ask for one check every year, and it's this one-time payment in the fall. This is our fall campaign. We have two that, it's the fall campaign and the spring gala. So this is really the only one where we're asking for money. The others are all just, donations that say you're part of a business, you donate your time. So this is the one check we'll ask for. And we're asking for a $300 per child donation, but any amount that works with your family is, of course, so appreciated. And really, we just want the parent support in this. So our goal is just to get the kids and the classes all to be 100% if the parents can just support the foundation and all that we do. We don't have Venmo yet. A lot of people have been asking. It has to do with some tax purposes, so maybe in the future we'll be able to do Venmo, but for now it's just PayPal. We also can do cash and checks. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to me or any of the ambassadors, and we'll answer any questions. If you have, future ideas of what we can fund, we're open to hear. So if anybody has any questions. We're doing really good. I've seen all the donations come in already, so it's really good. I see so much school spirit already, and the families here. I think everybody's just, wants to come back, and it's so good to see. So our goal is to get everybody, the Delmar Pines family, back. So, yeah.
Thank you, Joelle.
Thank you.
And Joelle's doing a wonderful job, as well as all the members of the board. So thank you all for your time. It does take a lot of time and energy to put these things together. So this is our test scores from last year. So comparing our average percentiles for grades 3 through 6. We do test in 2nd grade, but we don't get the median percentile scores for the 2nd grade reports. And this is from the May 2022 we take the CTP5 test. That's mostly an independent school test, but you also get national norms as well. And so these are all the subjects that are tested every year: verbal reasoning, vocabulary, reading comprehension, writing mechanics, writing concepts and skills, quantitative reasoning, and math. In every grade and every subject, we were higher than the median for the independent schools. If you look at national norms, are pretty much all 50 percentile, and we just completely blow those scores away. So really, our students do a very, very good job academically. And that is important, but the social emotional component too, and teaching them the life skills of being proactive and being responsible and being a good communicator, and those public speaking skills, and a lot of things that for their life they're going to need. So I don't know how many of you know, but my own children went to school here a long time ago, kindergarten through 6th grade. My daughter's 25. And she's employed and working for, she's actually quit her job and is starting a new job on Monday. She was with Smarty Pants Vitamins, and now she is with True Classic men's t-shirt company. I don't know how many of you, any of you men have it, but go buy some because she's in marketing and support her. But she's doing great, lives in LA with her fiance. They're getting married in a year, so it's pretty exciting around our house. And then my son just graduated college in May, and he just started his new job. He's in sales for Unishippers company. He just finished his first business trip to Dallas, Texas, and came back yesterday. So I've been through the whole gamut of kids in schools and all the experiences. So I have a different perspective of truly what's important. And if your kid gets a bad grade in 3rd grade, it's not the end of the world. Like, you have to prioritize what is important and what they learn from those experiences. So it's teaching them how to handle failures, how to be resilient. Don't make your kid's life perfect, because then they're going to have no skills for the real world on what they need to do. So a lot of parent education, hopefully this year, will kind of focus on that. I did a book talk several years ago on the gift of failure that I think is a brilliant book, and I'd like to do that again this year because it's been a long time and not very many people were able to come. But things like that I think are really, really important. So everything is about perspective and kind of where you want your kids to be, what skills you really want them to learn. And it's not just academics. Yes, Dan?
My memory serves me correctly, somewhere back in 2020. There was one of these areas where they were slightly below average, and so that would be some work to bring it up. Do you remember what that was, and was it anything specific that was done to do that, or was it just happened?
I think it was vocabulary that we were down in the 80s. We were like the high 80s. And yes, the teachers are bringing back Worldly Wise. They're doing a lot of analogy work. So yeah, we have addressed that. And the scores have gotten better. Good question, Dan. Okay, let's face it, we're awesome. I'm not going to brag or anything, but it is true. I think all of these things, I don't need to read them all for you. You can read them. But I think these are all really what make our school unique and special. I think we do have a nurturing environment for kids. I think our students all feel safe and loved and wanted. We really do emphasize good citizenship and character education, so we want to have good people and teach them how to be a good friend and how to get along in the classroom and how to share and how to deal with conflict too. Like, not everybody's perfect, and there will be fights, and there will be, not fights, but there will be disagreements and things going on, and we want them to learn skills to be able to say, I didn't like when you did this, and have the other person respond. So they learn to use their words and communicate. That's a life skill, instead of just, the teachers are not going to solve their problems for them. We're going to facilitate them solving their own problems. All the enrichment classes, I think, really help let our kids be really well-rounded. The performing arts, I think, are critically important to help build self-confidence and public speaking, teamwork. There's so many things, memorization skills, there's so much that they get out of those. Public speaking. We are a close-knit community where everybody does know everyone, which I think is something special. When our students graduate in 6th grade, when I ask them what will you miss most about Del Mar Pines, and it's pretty much always relationships. It's either the teachers, their friends, the community, the fact that everybody knew them. And I think that's something pretty unique and special. You will find out I'm in every single parent-teacher conference all year. Our first ones are coming up. That's your opportunity to tell the teachers about your children, your goals, your expectations for them, and kind of their strengths and challenges from your point of view. We do have a lot of parent volunteers. We're hoping to have many more coming this year. Hope you've been seeing the Science Discovery Day. I still need a lot of presenters for Science Discovery Day, so if you have any scientific expertise or hobbies or anything that you would want to share with our students, that's a great opportunity. I'm getting a lot of volunteers, which are good, but I need presenters too. Yes, Dan?
If you're new, you think, I'm not a scientist, I can't present. I am not a scientist, but there is plenty of stuff online. If you want to volunteer and get a part of the school, is you can create something that's fun, and especially the kindergarten or third grade, love what you have. So don't let your non-science background prevent you from being a presenter at the Science Day.
That's a good point, but like, is there like past presentation that perhaps like the parents can see? Because when I'm thinking about, oh my God, it's like a daunting thing.
There's a lot of stuff. I'm like, just go online and do like fun science projects. I mean, I've got a thing on like viscosity and every year. So there's plenty of stuff out there.
What is it, 20 minutes they want to?
Yeah,
28 to 30 minutes, and you do the same presentation 4 times. So you don't have to come up with 4 different presentations. It's the same one that you do 4 different times to a group of 6 to 10 kids max, and you can focus on the grade level. And so far, the ones coming in are mostly upper grade. So those K-3 ones are just really fun. And like Dan said, you can go on like fun science experiments. It doesn't have to be anything super crazy, just something fun and engaging for them to learn something. So don't be afraid. It's really not a scary thing. It's a lot of fun. Yes, Holly?
Also, if you're looking for ideas, Emily's Wonder Lab on Netflix is great for science. Like, it is so fun for the kids to watch that, and they have so many different science experiments. It's the younger age kids, so that's also a good option if you are looking for something with good stuff.
That's
and
great.
when is that? Sorry.
October 14th, I think. It's the Friday in October. And it's just in the morning from 9 to 12, I think. And we provide yummy food, so you definitely want to come to that. We're all about food.
Do you do
around
it
here.
4 times the same day?
Yeah, you
Okay.
just do it back to back on the same day.
Got it.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. What else? Yeah, all the school events that we have, the field trips. Each class has at least 2 off-campus field trips that they do a year, so you'll be getting information about those. We always take buses, so we don't have parents driving kids around. We just don't think that's a good idea. But we do, the teachers usually have a couple chaperones that go. And then our excellent resource to enhance education with the DMP Foundation provides a lot of resources for us. Character counts. For 3 years now, we've been working with the Anti-Defamation League, and we are a No Place for Hate school. We had a group of kids and teachers work on that and doing different activities last year, so we earned our banner that you saw out there. So our student leadership and No Place for Hate committee, it's for 4th, 5th, and 6th graders that can apply to be a part of the committee. And they get to pick the activities that we're going to do. They're the ones that run it. They go to all the classrooms and tell the kids about what they're doing and why they're doing it. So it's a great leadership opportunity for them. We want to put an emphasis on clear and consistent school rules. Bless you. Values and student expectations. So I think the teachers are very clear and focused on what they expect in the class, and once the kids know what the expectations are, then they don't have to worry about that. They know what's happening, so they can really concentrate on learning. And the teachers are always focusing on rewarding positive behaviors, and using redirection techniques for students who may not be following directions, and helping them to make better choices. So that's one of the things I love about our teachers. They're loving, they're kind, but they're also very consistent and have very high expectations for your kids. Diverse, inclusive, and appropriate literature in the library and the classrooms. And our 6th graders read the 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens each year. That I think is just a great book for them to really start becoming teenagers and later adults to be able to learn these skills. We are a fully accredited WASC school. Last year we had our mid-year review and it went very well. Our next review will be in the 2024-25 school year when a team of other educators from different schools come on campus and kind of just see. Basically what WASC is wanting to determine is, do you do what you say you do? There's all these reports that we have to write up and evaluating every part of the curriculum of the school and the participation. And then they're reviewing to see if it's really true. It's a really good process. And the nice thing about being a WASC accredited school is some teachers and administrators have the opportunity to go to other schools and be able to do these reviews somewhere else. So I know Cassandra did one, Mrs. White did one last year. I think she's going on one this year, and I just got invited today to do a school in Redlands. And it is a great opportunity to go and just see what other schools are doing. I don't know how many of you know, but the Letterman jackets that our 6th graders and teachers wear, I got that idea from a school that I went and visited. I'm like, that is the greatest idea ever, and I stole it. So sometimes you can steal good ideas from other schools. We're not doing tons of new things this year, which is kind of nice, but one thing that we are doing, we've been using Saxon Phonics for a very, very long time, and it was becoming kind of an old program, but we still liked it. But they just revamped the entire thing. So we have an updated Saxon Phonics curriculum for kindergarten and 1st grade this year that they've just made a lot of improvements to it. It's even going to be better than it was before. We are using iReady again this year. Last year was our first year. And so there's a lot more that we can do now that kind of the teachers and the students know what it can do. It can actually do a lot more than we were using it for last year. So it's like anything, the more you do it, the better you get at it. So I'm excited about that. Classroom teacher-parent communication, there's the weekly emails, Instagram. 5th and 6th graders get a lot of their assignments in Google Classroom. And there's open communication, so if you ever want to contact the teachers, email is probably the best way to do it. They normally don't check their emails during the day, so if it's something important that you need right away, call the office and we can get them a message. But they will definitely respond to you, and they want to hear if you have any questions or concerns. Security reviews. So I know security is an issue or a concern for a lot of parents. And so over the summer, I invited the San Diego Police Department juvenile officers who are in this North County area to come and just kind of do a surveillance or see what we were doing, see what recommendations they had for ways to improve. And so overall they thought we were doing really well. They liked the gated campus with the locks. We have camera systems all around school. One of the big things that they say that separates us from a lot of bigger schools is that we know who's supposed to be here and who's not. So I think that's kind of important. With visitors who come on campus, like for tours and things, need to check into the office and get badges. We've always had locks on all the exterior doors from the inside. So if we do need to do a lockdown, they can lock them down just by one of those slide locks in the classrooms or on the exterior doors. We do lockdown drills once or twice a year. And we have good communication with Torrey Pines High School, mostly because of Abby Brown, one of our parents is a teacher up there, so she pretty much contacts me instantaneously if anything happens. But speaking with the police officers this year, they've added us to the communication link. So if there is an incident going on up there, the police will notify us that something's happening. But I think Abby's even better than that to be able to get that information. And I also talked to Rob Copo, who's the principal up there, so we have a working relationship as well. They did have a couple recommendations that we have done. One was adding the blocking to the front of the gate, which you can see that's up there. We're actually going to add some more to the other side. But we've had some taller men usually who have reached over the gate and just, there are parents, but they just don't remember the rules sometimes, and so they just get in. So now they can't do that anymore. One of the interesting ideas that they suggested was the locks on all the interior doors to the classrooms, so like the middle rooms, because they said that's a really good way. If somebody's coming in one way, you tell the kids to go out the other way, and then you can lock the door behind them to be able to kind of get them locked in a certain spot. So we did add that to all the interior doors, and adding inside locks to the student bathrooms, which I had never really thought of that before. But if there's something going on and the kids want to hide in the bathroom, we didn't have a lock on the inside. So we did do it, but there's still a key lock on the outside because we don't want kids locking themselves in the bathroom. It would not be a good idea. So I don't think they figured that out yet, but we will help. So those were some of the recommendations and some of the things that we have done to enhance our security.
In
Yes.
case of fire, is there a plan for evacuation, like each classroom go to some place?
Yes, we do. We've always been doing that. And we basically just go out to the field. And then if there is a fire, we would probably head out to Torrey Pines if there was. But really the chances of fires at school are super rare. One thing that we have changed that the police reminded us too, that if the kids hear a fire drill, we don't just go out of the building anymore, because there have been cases of bad people doing the fire alarm, and then everybody goes out and then they shoot them all, which is not a good idea. So we have a new policy that if we hear a fire alarm that we're not expecting, it's not a planned fire drill, then the teachers are going to lock the door at first and then look and smell, see if you see fire, smell fire. Well, obviously, if you any of those, you're going to get out of the building immediately. But then for them to communicate to Laura and say, like, there either is a fire or isn't a fire, and then we'll make adjustments that way and make a call. But we're not just going out right away. That was a suggestion for them, too. Yeah?
I know it's really small and you can almost sort of like yell to one another, but when the teachers are in the classroom, how do they communicate with the office? Do they
We have an intercom system in all our phones, yeah. So there's phones in all the classrooms.
Okay.
And
you can make an announcement that can be heard in all the
Yep, you can do an all page, so everybody hears everything at the same time. Yeah.
My son Bruce pointed out to me that they have new signage for the boys and girls restroom, but it's on the inside, so you can't see it from the outside. Is that the case?
No, because the bathroom doors, this was a COVID thing that we really liked in COVID, that the bathroom doors are open all day when kids are here. And so there is there's a sign on the outside too, that's the old sign that just says boys bathroom, girls bathroom, but now there's new interior. It's on the inside, but that's because they're open all day. And that's been really nice, so we know what's happening in the bathrooms, because we used to not know, and that was good. That was one of the good COVID things. There are some good things that happened out of COVID, and that's one of them. Our great partnership with Torrey Pines, that we've tried to change everything, but I'm kind of liking it now that I'm kind of getting used to it. But for all of you, if you read almost 2 Wednesdays a month, instead of 3:30 dismissal, they have 2:35 dismissal. And on those days, we can't get out at 2:35 too, or it would be a disaster. So those are our late days, 3:05. So please check your Google calendars, and you should have it on there of when it's a late day. Yes, Natalie?
Yeah, I think it says 3 o'clock on the school calendar.
Well, 3:05 is pretty
Yeah.
close.
Okay.
Rashma?
For the school calendar that you can sync with your own calendar,
Uh-huh.
would you be able to send a link to a syndication link,
Sure.
please?
Does it not work on when it says view the full calendar on the newsletter? Can you link it from there?
Maybe I need to take technology class, but I can't make it.
Okay.
I can.
Has anybody been able to link the calendar to your
Yes.
regular calendar?
Yeah, there's.
I can do my, I can do my.
What do you do?
From the school website.
From the school website you can do it?
Yeah.
Rashna, have you tried going to the school website?
Yeah.
It's the parent locker works too.
Yeah.
Logging in a parent locker, you're able to. Yeah.
It depends on if you have the, like, do you use Outlook day to day, or you use Google?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, no. Yeah, I was gonna be of help, but I can't. But if you go to the, yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
I got
so
a lot of
if you
help.
do-
This is awesome. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, so it should work, but I could send a link if you need it.
Just a quick nerdy question.
Oh, yeah.
On late dismissal days, are the kids in class?
Yes,
Or they-
they're in class.
Oh, wow. So it's like a one, almost a half.
It's a half an hour, kind of longer. And we've decided to, a really good use of that time is for some of our school assemblies that the kids are doing, like Martin Luther King Day, or well, not Veterans Day because we do that right on Veterans Day, but Black History Month, Martin Luther King Day. There are certain things that we do during the year, and we're going to try to have those from 2:30 to 3 on those extended days. So it's kind of a good use of that time. But the teachers always say, we never have enough time, we never have enough time, we never have enough time, and now I'm giving them 30 extra minutes that they're very excited about. Sign Up Genius, now that parents are able to volunteer, this was a really good thing that we did before COVID to have parents sign up. So we'll be starting that up again. I don't know how many of you know, but there's a San Diego Independent School head of schools group that we've been around for about 6 or 7 years now. And there's 20 schools in our consortium, in our group. I'm one of them. It's Bishops and Parker, Jewish Academy, Pacific Ridge, Grower, Rhodes, Bishops, Children's School, Santa Fe Christian, Grower, oh no, Grower's on there. There's 20 of us. I can't list them all right now. But we meet 4 times a year. During COVID, we literally met every week because if it wasn't for each other, none of us could have gotten through it. But we really do help each other out. We're really not competitors. We really, as heads, we understand what each other's going through, and we really do help and support each other. So it's a phenomenal group. I love being a part of it. So just for you guys to know, we listen to influential speakers, discuss current issues that are affecting parents or schools or curriculum or just the independent school world. And let's have a terrific year. So that's my presentation.